Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Colton Marvellius, and this is my co-host, Mr.
Brennan Howard.
Hi, Mr. Brennan Howard.
Brr.
So today we are actually recording our first episode of a podcast called The Weekly Rundown. We're going to talk about video games, different topics every week. And
It's a
today
general rundown, right?
just a general rundown.
Yeah,
I
a
made
rundown.
I made the logo. I'm sticking with it. I love it. It looks cool. We'll talk, or I'll talk about a little bit of news at the end. We're finding our footing today. All that fun stuff. So today our plan was to talk about games we played this summer. Simple, easy, just we played games all summer. I know I did. Brennan, do you play any games?
Oh, played a little.
Played a little. Ooh, okay. Jeez. And you're on a video game podcast? You only played a little?
Well, I like to have fun. You know,
Yeah, we like to have fun here.
we have fun here.
Man, yeah, there were so many good summer games that came out this year. One of my big ones was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Hmm?
So I don't. You're familiar with the Ratchet and Clank series, though, right?
I wouldn't say familiar, but
Wow.
I saw the movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's basically like a retelling of the first game.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just kind of a fun game.
Yeah, you got you got your Ratchet. Oh wow, his face went all blue on my side. But you got your Ratchet, you got your Clank. Just
Do with that what you will.
had to show off my Funko Pops there. But Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is basically the first new entry of Ratchet and Clank in a very long time. It was made specifically for the PS5 in mind, utilizing their SSD. You can like instantly transport through different portals around the map, or like dimensional rifts. So loading times are just non-existent in this game at
Right,
all.
because it's all hard downloaded data on the SSD.
It's it's just exactly, and it's like randomly, or it's accessed very fast.
Uh-huh.
If there are loading times, which I would imagine like kind of going through planets, they're hid really well through cutscenes where you like hop on the ship and just like it teleports you from the ship to the map, and then you're there. It's like no time flat. You're teleported there. The game is so freaking good. I could not put this game down. I played it for 3 days straight on stream until I got the platinum trophy, which is like doing all the achievements, all that fun stuff, for people who don't play PlayStation. And oh my god, it's so good. One of my favorite. It's my favorite PlayStation game. On the console so far. It's fantastic.
And that's for the PlayStation 5. We're on number 5 now.
We're on PS5. I know, and then Xbox is on Series X, which is a weird way to count. But
Well, I guess that's 10, but that's not the 10th Xbox.
it's not
so...
because it went Xbox 360, Xbox One,
Xbox One.
and then Series X. Yeah.
Leave it to Microsoft.
Oh man, it's all right. They'll never get to Xbox 3, just like Steam though, or Valve.
They're working on it.
What about you? What games have you touched upon?
Well, the first one on my list is kind of a longtime favorite of mine, is the Sea of the Thieves.
The Sea of the Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, the epic pirate adventure from Raresoft Studios. It's Rare. Yeah, I've been playing that for, I guess it's been over a year now. It only
It's been out for a while now, right?
it's been out for a while. I think 2018 it came out, and it came out as garbage. Like there was nothing to do. It looked cool and it played okay, but there was nothing to do. Everyone was sad. It was a bad time. It wasn't until they came out with the Flameheart update, I think it was in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 2019. No, I think that was 2020, and then it got good because they added content, and I've been in love with it ever since. It's just a good time.
That's good. I have like two things to add there actually, because I remember when the game first came out and it got hated on a lot, but I definitely can respect a game that like fixes its issues like down the road, like not as much as a game that comes out fully, but like obviously they're listening to their players if they fix the game like post release.
I've got a few of those type of games on my list here. Like it's honestly kind of my favorite game.
Yeah, and then the other thing I remember, I think it was this year, they announced that Pirates of the Caribbean crossover.
Yep.
It looks I love Pirates of the Caribbean, and
I just played through them all. So.
Oh,
they're called Tall Tales. They're little missions that you can do in the game that are more story based. Okay. Everything else is kind of more PvP based, really. But I mean, you can run away and avoid PvP
if you want.
If you think the PvE is that interesting, which it isn't.
Okay.
But you can do that. But yeah, I thought the Tall Tales were pretty good, and they were able to get licensed music for Pirates of the Caribbean and everything. That
Pirates have such good music too.
Oh, it does. Honestly, oh my god.
Did it have voice actors from like the actual voice actors?
They were impersonators though.
Oh, okay.
Kingdom did a pretty good job, except for Davy Jones wasn't too good, but he did a good job. I think he did.
Kingdom Hearts had their own like crossover stuff with Pirates too, and in Kingdom Hearts 2 was like the first time you see it, and Jack Sparrow does not sound anything like Jack Sparrow. But as
Hello, mate, I'm Jack Sparrow.
Basically. And it was like someone trying way too hard to be Jack Sparrow and still failing at it.
The Renaissance Fair impersonator.
Yeah, but then you got it again in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I know they got a lot of actors from like the actual Disney movies in there, but I don't know if Pirates they did, but they were still really good. Like it was impressive.
I thought that was cool. What they did get for the Tall Tales and Sea of Thieves was audio from the roller coaster.
Oh,
at Disneyland.
That is cool.
I will admit they kind of overused. Like the whole joke is like take a shot every time you hear "Dead man tell no tales." But it was really cool because the first mission, you get on your boat and preferably with your buddies, and you sail through the portal to go to this place where you can't get PvP'd, basically.
Okay.
It's like the realm of the dead or whatever. But yeah, it starts out as a pretty slow boat ride, and you just see like ghosts on your ship that pop up and do like lines from the ride. There's like the parrot and everything.
Oh, nice.
And they just captured really what it feels like on that ride. And of course that's what they're going for. They want that nostalgia. Like you go through it and you hear the first "Dead men tell no tales," and you're like, oh, I'm a kid again.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest appeal of Sea of Thieves is you get to be a kid again. You get to be a cartoony pirate, and you get to sail around with your buddies and just wreck stuff up, have fun, and you make your own games, of course, but there's also plenty of stuff to do. There's kind of I wouldn't say a competitive scene, but it does get sweaty as far as the PvP goes.
Nice.
And yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, who didn't want to be a pirate as a kid? That's, that's one of those things where it's like, I mean, who doesn't want to be a pirate now, though? Too?
Right, right.
The
Well,
adventure, that's why we play video games, is for adventure and fun and competition.
we don't talk about what pirates actually were like, you know.
No, oh no,
We're
no one wants to be an actual pirate. They want to
we're
be,
cartoon pirates.
yeah, they want to be
Of
the
course,
the
I have
non creepy
had my
pirates.
mind kind of opened. I was talking to a colleague from work as we go around and do our patrols or whatever, and how pirates in the golden age, like the what 1700s, 1600s, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
The white pirates with the feather hats were definitely vilified because it was a time where empires and industry ruled the world, and people were getting they were getting terrible pay working for these like the East India Trading Company, which was
It,
definitely a huge empire that owned a lot of trade and
yeah.
a fitting villain for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but it was just bad for the common man. And their option was, hey, you could be a pirate and actually get paid.
Yeah.
A lot of captains had like some pretty ethical codes to go by, except for Blackbeard. He had slaves. But generally, they were definitely painted to be a lot more disgusting by the powers that be of the time, the companies and the empires.
Yeah, and they just kind of picked how the future would play out, I guess, like, or the past would play out for us now.
Mhm. So that's cool to not feel so conflicted if you have a big interest in golden age piracy.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves. I highly recommend it.
You've
It's
been telling,
definitely not for everyone. I've been trying to get the boys to play with me.
yeah, I
They're
was
not
about,
too interested.
you've been trying to get me to download it too, and I still need to check it
Yeah,
out.
that's the big thing. It's on Game Pass now, so you can get it for free, which is definitely how it should have been from the start.
Yeah.
'Cause at the start, it was like $60,
Oh,
and even now, I don't think it's worth that.
but it's worth free. It's,
I'll see what it's going for on Steam right now.
I mean,
They're,
I have Game Pass, well, I mean, but I guess for everyone too.
it's going for $39.99 on Steam, which might not be worth it to most people. But if you're really into the whole idea of it and you watch some YouTube videos and you take it from me, it could be worth it. I paid the full price, I believe.
Okay.
But
I'll have to check it out at some point, cause like I know you want me to at least try it. Um, a game I played this summer though, going like the complete opposite route of Pirates, is the Mass Effect trilogy, like the Legendary Edition. It came out God, might have been March or April, maybe May. I want around close to summer, but these games are massive. But I was playing Mass Effect on my stream, constantly, and God, each game. Okay, let me explain what Mass Effect is first. Mass Effect is basically you play as this person named Commander Shepard. You can name them whatever, but they always get called Commander Shepard anyway, because their last name's Shepard. Um, and basically, you are the first human Spectre of this alien alliance that the humans just kind of joined with. But you're part of like a military, I guess. Like what you could compare it to is like a space force.
oh,
Uh, and yeah, but basically, you're trying to have like create peace with all these other alien races because you guys are the newest to this group.
So you're kind of Star Trekking it around?
Basically, yeah, basically you are, but at the same time, there's this dangerous force. They're called the Reapers, and the Reapers are essentially computers. They're like AI, and for forever, basically, there have been alien races that have basically they get up to where you are at intelligence level, and then the Reapers will come in and destroy them and restart everything. So like, evolution, everything will restart again, and these races that were not smart and clever will start becoming smart and clever over time. They'll get to the level you are, and then the Reapers will come in and destroy them, and it's been a cycle forever. Your job is to figure out how to stop them.
And figure out, like, their origins, I'd imagine.
Like, no one knew about them because...
them.
Yeah. And it's very interesting. I mean, who made them is going to be one of those things where it's like... That was forever ago.
Basically, it's an ancient AI.
Yeah.
That's sole purpose is to genocide species that become spacefaring to a certain point of evolution.
Yeah, like they become so smart that they're all like, okay, we're gonna reset everyone. Basically,
reset everyone.
Yeah.
Go to the Stone Age or before.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And like the race before you, like one of the big ones, they were called the Protheans. And there's like, at first you think like the Protheans were the ones who created all this, like, because there's these things called the Mass Effect relays. And they are the reason for intergalactic space travel, like at light speed and stuff.
Okay.
You kind of go into them, and then you're instantly like teleported to another mass relay almost, or a different planet. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So basically, throughout all three of the games, you're dealing with Reapers, and you're dealing with protecting yours, well, everyone, but also your species from extinction from the Reapers.
Well, it makes you wonder why they're doing that.
Yeah, they have their own reasons, and they never.
Don't want to spoil.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. There's just, oh my gosh. So like the first game though, like, God, I don't know. That might be getting into spoiling. It's so hard to talk about this game, but one thing I know I can talk about without spoiling anything. It's an old game, so I know spoilers are already out there forever because it came out during the Xbox 360 and PS3. But then they released a
spoiler alert for any listeners who are holding out on this game.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. I won't do that. So no spoiler alert. Cancel that spoiler alert.
Delay that.
Delay that. But what I was gonna say is the game, you have choices you make and it affects the endings of the games. I have never played a game where every choice I made felt so impactful to what's going on in the game. I play Telltale games, I play Life is Strange, like those types of games, love them. And I never felt like the choices I made are always impactful. I feel like, but Mass Effect, they are very impactful from basically just choices you make, or like sometimes if there's a mission that comes up and you go and do something else, it will affect that mission if you didn't go to that mission right away. Which is insane.
Kind of got a role play.
Well, Yeah, it's weird. It is an RPG, but it's like also a shooter RPG, like a third person shooter. It's not like turn based or anything. Um, but it's just like a big mission came up. I won't spoil anything. And I was like, okay, I don't really feel like I'm in an area where I'm ready to deal with that. So I went and leveled up a lot, and then I went to the mission to do it,
Oh no.
and fucking hell busted loose. Let's just say that. Oh, I cussed, but maybe I'll censor it or something. I don't know. Uh, I wasn't even thinking about podcast wise. I was just like, but yeah, Mass Effect trilogy is probably I was gonna say or I was gonna say the best thing I played this year, but Ratchet and Clank was still probably up there for the best thing I've played this year. Um, but yeah, Mass Effect trilogy. If you have not played Mass Effect trilogy, you owe it to yourself to play that game. It is fantastic.
It's been on my list for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, it's easy when they're all. You can buy 3 of them for like $60, or it might have been 40. But
Well, the third one was bad, wasn't it?
no, Andromeda was bad, and it's not in that collection. People say Andromeda was bad. I just got it. I haven't played it yet, though.
Is it like a spin-off?
Andromeda takes place in between Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 1 and 2 because there's like a 2-year gap.
Okay, so it's really not essential.
I don't think it is, but I mean, like, if you I'm gonna, yeah, I haven't played it, but I'm gonna play it just because I played 1, 2, and 3 and was all like, I really need more Mass Effect. And Mass Effect 4 hasn't been announced yet, but they announced it, but it's like it was a teaser announcement. So I was like, I do want to play Andromeda, just something in between so I can be ready for I Mass Effect made me buy all the Mass Effect comics to read.
Oh, there's comics too?
There's comics, there's books and everything. It's almost like how Halo is, where they have their books and stuff that go in between certain stories.
Wow, I heard a lot of similarities there.
Oh, with Halo?
First of all, I want to say that your big mission story, where you messed up the big mission because you didn't do it in time, really struck a chord with me, because like I hate that when you're playing a game like maybe Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
And your mission is like, oh, you got this vital main mission to do. So I'm always like, oh man, I gotta keep working on this vital mission, and I don't have time for your side quests. I have an important job to do. You know?
Yeah, and that's but the other thing, it's like the opposite, you know, like when I'm gonna talk about Final Fantasy VII. I'm gonna do a little bit of spoilers for it. But I also haven't beat Final Fantasy VII. I beat the remake, but not like the whole story. But I know there's like a meteor coming to your planet to like destroy it. And then people always joke around that like JRPG characters will do side quests. And like, so it's like, there's a meteor destroying planet, and you got to go stop it, stop the bad guy who's like summoning it. And then they're like, oh, but I also have to like stop and like find this farmer's 5 sheep.
Right. Well, that was cool about well, in Skyrim, I'd always like make my own story, like ignore the main quest. Like you can download a mod, alternate start, where you don't start as the freaking Dragonborn.
Oh.
So you can just enjoy the world the way you want to, which I like that a lot better than having this urgent main quest. Like, geez. But I was going to also say,
I bet you were.
Crap. Oh yeah, the meteor. It reminded me of Majora's Mask.
Oh, the moon. The moon
Yeah,
that's
now
like.
that was cool because that was your urgent quest and it was time. But you
Oh.
still had to do like some kind of little stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but the whole game mechanic was like every Zelda has like a cool gimmick about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, Skyward Sword is in my opinion, really good motion controls. Like every enemy would have a specific way
Yeah. To
to
fight it.
beat them using the motion controls. Like that was like a mini puzzle in its own.
Oh, okay.
Like some of them would block, or some of them would have, weaknesses that
Yeah.
involved swinging a certain way. But and then Majora's was the whole time thing. Well, obviously the masks, but the time thing was like the big deal where
Mhm.
you had to reset time and you'd go back and forth all the time, and that would change things. The whole
It would
and
affect the story, basically.
yeah, it'd help you complete certain quests. So you really had to think outside of the timeline to solve some of these puzzles.
That's cool.
And
I didn't know that about Majora's Mask. I've never played that one. I've actually really haven't played a Zelda game all the way through, really.
Excited for Skyward when you play that. That was
I
one of my
know.
favorites.
I know. I wish my like I want to play Zelda really bad. My Switch is just I kind of beat it up a little bit. I dropped it one day.
Dude, I love Zelda, and especially the music.
Yeah.
It's anyway. Is that gonna do it for Mass Effect?
That's it for Mass Effect. It's hard to talk about that one without spoiling it, and
That whole Reaper thing made me think of what Halo's doing now with their recent 4 and 5 installations. Involved a new threat. I'm sure everyone knows, and it's not a big spoiler because the games are kind of.
I don't know. You're gonna spoil Halo for me.
It's very disconnected from the main trilogy, honestly, except for one major point involving a character. But I won't spoil that. But like in 4, at least I played 4. I watched 5. There's the Prometheans, which are like an ancient race, and this villain is trying to absorb life form souls and turn them into AI monsters for a specific reason, which I will not reveal.
Okay.
And that kind of reminded me of the Reapers here, and also, oh, there goes the train of thought. Choo choo. Anyway, who cares? But that brings me into my next summer game on my list, which is Halo: The Master Chief Collection, available on PC today.
And Game Pass.
I got it for like $20 on sale. It's freaking awesome. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't played Halo in so long. Gotta get it. Got it. Started playing it. I haven't stopped playing it. I'm doing my second playthrough of the main trilogy, well, including Halo Reach. But this time on normal. I did it on heroic mode first, and that was last. And then I just wanted to do normal, just to experience it again, but not worry too much, and feel like a badass.
That's funny. When you were talking about playing it on heroic mode, I do the opposite when I play games. I play it on like easy or normal. And then my second playthrough, I play it on a harder challenge because I want the story first.
Right.
But like I hate it when I'm playing a game. I'm obsessed with the story, and then I get stuck forever. And it's
like a bad game, or well, not a bad game, but can do that. It takes you out of the immersion when the actual gameplay being too difficult is so different from the story.
Yeah.
That you get stuck on a boss and you're like, and then you get back to the cutscene when you finally beat the boss and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I was following this story. But Halo is, I mean, the combat is so essential to the whole series, obviously.
Yeah.
So it really feels like a part of it. It's just, I mean, it feels a lot more natural on a higher difficulty.
Wait, are you telling me the combat in Halo is essential to Halo Combat Evolved? What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I definitely recommend heroic mode. I think that's probably the sweet spot for Halo.
Okay. Is heroic mode their normal mode, or is it like
they have easy, normal, heroic, legendary?
Okay, so it's hard basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kingdom Hearts has
But I mean, I'm playing through a normal right now and I'm still dying sometimes. So honestly, if you're not a big shooter guy, do it on normal.
That's funny. That's actually because I was about to say I haven't really played I don't have a crazy ton of experience in shooters either.
Well, you should probably do it on normal when you do it then.
Yeah. Was that your thing for Halo, or did you have more? I'm sorry, I interrupted you on there.
There's always more to be said about Halo. Like, holy crap. It changed the gaming world forever. Like, before that, we had, like, Doom and Quake, GoldenEye.
Yeah. Oh, God,
then
GoldenEye.
Bungie comes out with this wild idea for 3D shooter, and I can't say if it was the first 3D shooter or not. I don't think it was, but it was the first one that mattered, that's for sure. And then it was originally going to be a third-person shooter, kind of like a big... They really didn't know what they were going to do. They were going to do like a big war scenario, like, I don't know, PlanetSide style. But then they found that, oh, there could be a story to tell, and that would be better told in first person. And started working on that, and bam, eventually they came out with Halo Combat Evolved. And of course, they were contracted by Microsoft to be
the Halo exclusive.
Yeah, the Xbox exclusive.
Oh yeah, Xbox. Same thing, Xbox Halo.
Good lord,
no.
Sell Xboxes. Whew.
Oh yeah, that one. I remember watching. I think it was Scott the Woz talk about Xbox's first like E3, where they announced that, and yeah, they definitely, that was definitely their big selling point, and it worked. Halo is like a household name almost now. It's gotta be, actually.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
everyone would recognize Master Chief. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Of course, they probably don't know anything about Halo, but they can recognize the green guy with the yellow visor.
Yeah, actually, there's an app called Waze, and it's like a directional map for directions, like Google Maps or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you can have a voice for Master Chief give you directions.
Perfect.
And it's like, I used it for a little bit because I was kind of curious about it. And the thing that bothers me is, like, every time you're supposed to make a turn, he'll go, roll out. And so the thing is, though, with, like, GPS voice navigation stuff, they'll tell you to turn like 3 or 4 times before your turn. In a mile, make a right turn at blah blah blah. Right. Roll out. And then
turn now.
in half a mile, make a turn at blah blah blah. Roll out. In a quarter of a mile, like, make a turn at blah blah blah. Roll out, and then at your regular turn, roll out. You know, it's like, oh my god, Master Chief, shut up.
Well, usually you can like select like, okay, I want the quieter mode where it'll only do it
Yeah, that's true.
Mile, maybe.
It's hard to do that when you're driving though, and it's all running.
You set it up beforehand,
No,
Colton. Come on.
I never mind it when it's like in a mile. It lets me know I need to start getting over. Especially, I drive on the freeway a lot for my job, and so it's nice to know when I should start like moving over lanes. But it's just roll out after everyone is the one that got me. Like, and then also it's kind of cool. You can also change like the vehicle that's like navigating you, or sometimes it's an error or whatever. You can change it to one of the like Halo vehicles.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know.
Gotta say, I am a menace on the road if I'm listening to the Halo soundtrack while I'm driving.
That'd be hella
when
funny.
you play it, you'll notice the vehicle parts are
They have their own.
insane.
Do they have their own audio?
Oh yeah, they got epic freaking music by Martin O'Donnell,
Oh,
legendary audio director and composer. Love it. It's very exhilarating, but you'll notice the first time you get in a Warthog when you play that game that they move a certain way. Yeah.
okay. I'll have to. Yeah. I know that's a big one you want me to play, so that's probably I'll probably play that before Sea of Thieves. To be honest, I'm just like
Mainly because you're like you haven't played it and you don't really know everything.
yeah. I've played the played the multiplayer, so that's how I know as much as I know about Halo. Because my friend Johnny, he had me play Halo all the time with him when I would go to his house. I didn't have a PS3 or an Xbox 360 growing up. I had a Wii.
Halo
And-
multiplayer, though. We could talk about that for a second.
Mhm.
That's like the start of esports, really. That was like the first official gaming competition was a Halo game.
Was it
And
really?
you do a LAN party with it, you know,
Oh yeah,
projectors or whatever.
I remember.
And
I remember LAN
that-
parties.
I believe Halo was the first game competition to actually have like a cash prize or something. And then, of course, you can go even farther with the Halo multiplayer and how they implemented what's known as Forge mode, which is like a free creation mode, so you could create your own maps. And of course, the games have physics and everything, so you have people creating games like involving Jenga towers, and of course, the ever infamous Griff Ball, which I actually
Hasn't that become a real game mode in the series?
Yeah, it was like a custom game mode I think they did for Halo 1, and I think it was based off of the Red versus Blue series.
Mhm.
Because the character in there was Griff. So I think they came up with it and put it online or something, like how to set up the options to make it. Of course, there was no like custom maps in Halo 1. They had that, and then eventually it got put into the game because it was good. And, you know, that's part of the community. That's part of the actual Halo story. So I think it's really cool that they added player-built content into the official game and acknowledged that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, custom modes in Halo is a blast. Like, we were having a blast playing Splitgate.
Oh yeah.
With all those custom options. Like, that's the way to play it. I mean, of course, there's the competitive scene for Halo and Splitgate, where it's just your normal game modes, team deathmatch or whatever, and that's cool and all. But the real fun is sitting on a couch with your buddies and playing zero gravity, lightsabers only, mega speed, rockets only. You know,
Yeah. And man, it sucks because now with internet, like there's almost no need for sitting on the couch with your buddies anymore. It's like your buddies could be halfway across the world and you can still play with them, which is nice in that regard. But it's a
I've always
different
done a sweet
feeling.
spot for couch co-op.
Yeah, there you know, and there's games
But
like oh, I just was thinking of like the last like couch co-op experience I had was actually on the PS4, which is impressive. It's in itself, but it was like this game called Gang Beats. And
Gang Beat.
oh yeah, so you're just like these little plush things that are like beating the shit out of each other, trying to throw each other off the map. And it's so much fun. Like I can't imagine playing that game online.
Uh-huh.
Like I have to play it as a couch co-op thing because it's fantastic.
You get the Cheetos, you get the Mountain Dew.
You
cuddle up with the boys on the couch, and
you get
play
the G Fuel.
Yeah.
Fucking
guacamole gamer fart. It's an actual energy drink. Guacamole gamer fart.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like guacamole or fart.
Well, it's like lemon lime, but that's the name. Guacamole gamer fart.
That's not what that's gonna taste like.
But yeah, that would be a good
That would be a good subject for a future podcast.
Guacamole gamer fart.
couch co-op.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah, that would be a good topic actually. I like that.
There's still a place for it in the world. Like even though we're like having just as much fun playing Splitgate over Discord, there's still plenty of games that are meant for couch co-op, like Gang Beasts and
honestly,
what's that cooking game? Overcooked?
Overcooked. Yeah, that's gonna be free on PlayStation Plus this month. That's new one.
Good one.
Yeah. I love Overcooked too. That's a really good one. And also, I feel like Mario Kart is also still. Oh, and Mario Party. Oh my God, Mario Party. That's a great co-op. Like, oh man, there's so many. We'll have to circle back to this. Cause yeah, damn. All right.
So yeah, that's Halo.
That's
Love
Halo.
of my life. I think that was the first video game I ever played. Really.
Was Halo really?
Well, I guess it's the first one I got into. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we had the Xbox and we had Halo on it and Morrowind and then like some knockoff pirate game. But yeah, it was definitely Halo and Morrowind was the main attraction to the Xbox for me. That's what we play. But otherwise we had like the Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo. But I'd play around on Zelda. I was too young to like understand any of it. I just liked running around.
Yeah.
That's Majora's Mask with all the fun masks you could use.
But
yeah.
So when you were talking about Halo and I said like I don't play a lot of shooters, which is true. I don't because my first shooter I really got into was Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. This one's going to be more of a controversial thing on this podcast because a lot of people don't like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Because like a lot of the mechanics kind of suck and everything. They say I actually like this game a lot. It's hard to explain it, but since it is my first like shooter game I got into, Call of Duty, it helped me get into it just having friends who also play it. I think because I also used to not have like really great internet to play online games with friends where I lived. So having that community play it with taught me a lot. I use I don't know if you guys come to my streams or whatever and I'm playing that game, you'll normally see my like me throwing tomahawks at people rather than using the guns. And so much that I had to make a thing for like when I got tomahawks. It would be part of the Smosh song, like the
no.
tomahawk chop, you know, that song. So I'd press that button whenever I did something kind of cool with the tomahawks. And I think like a month into the game too, I was playing. I've not touched the story on this game. I've had this game for almost a year now, but I've been playing it like a lot this summer too. Like, but like, let's say it was, I think a month in to this game, I did an eight tomahawk kill streak on, on like the opposing team.
Damn.
Or no, it was 10 kills, 8 tomahawks, I believe. And it's impressive because it's 6v6. So like it was just lucky where they freaking respawned. And I have the clip on my my Twitch page, but it's so impressive. And then now I've gotten really good with them, where like people I'm playing with will like tell me to kill myself.
As you do.
As you
in
do.
Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Black Ops Cold War.
Call of Duty's hella toxic. I had like this one guy I ticked off a lot. So it was like one game, and I took the footage from that game and I turned it into a music video.
What?
I mean, it's not as often as you would think, but it's on my YouTube channel, and it's called Big Iron, or no, what did I call it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was I call it the Ballad of Jerry, because his name was like Jerry the Platypus. But yeah, like Call of Duty, one of those games that is just, or Call of Duty Cold War Black. Like I like Cold War. I do. It's fun for me. I've kind of stopped playing it since I got into Splitgate though. But I was playing a lot of Call of Duty this summer.
Ill-fitting trousers on YouTube?
I am ill-fitting trousers on YouTube. All one word. It's on.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not showing up.
So when you type it in, it will go, "Did you mean ill-fitting trousers?" Like 3 different words, and then you go, "No," and then it will pop up.
I got it one word.
Yeah.
And I'm looking under channels.
Huh.
And I think I'm already subscribed to you.
You better be. But yeah,
I think that's interesting how you gravitated to the tomahawk.
Mm-hmm.
Because like a lot of gamers who are used to shooters are used to hit scan weapons, which is where if the crosshair is over the guy and you click, they get hit. And then of course there's projectile weapons, which is a tomahawk, which takes the physics into account.
Yeah.
So like Halo did that. Like it was basically all hit scan except for rocket launchers and I think the sniper. Until Halo 3, they started adding projectile based like actual bullets to most of the automatic weapons and stuff too. So you had to lead your shots and stuff.
Huh. Actually, I also heard though that this new Halo, Kotaku just reported on it today. Well, technically tomorrow, for the people watching this, but or yesterday, not tomorrow. I'm not a psychic. But that Halo Infinite is going to be going back to the old way of doing that. Like for like
hit scan instead.
For yeah.
Interesting. Well, I always gravitated to the projectile base too. Like back in my Overwatch days, R.I.P.
Yeah.
I McCree was a hit scan and Soldier was a hit scan. Widowmaker.
His name's not McCree anymore.
It's not?
They're changing his name because the Activision lawsuits. It was named after one of the guys who's getting in trouble for the Activision lawsuits. So they're changing his name.
Oh, I'm done with it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, Activision deserves, but okay, never mind.
I was doing a lot better with Hanzo and Pharah who had projectile. Like Farah had a rocket launcher,
Mhm.
and Hanzo had a bow and arrow. So
I remember
that's
playing Hanzo a lot when I played a little bit, like it was always Hanzo for me.
mhm. I think it's because we came from games like Skyrim, which don't really have hit scan.
I didn't play Skyrim.
Have you ever?
I mean a little bit, but not like the whole game. I have Skyrim VR on the PlayStation, and that's the only Skyrim I've ever owned.
Bruh.
Yeah, but I can't play the VR too much because I get motion sick in that one. That's like the only VR game I get motion sick in.
Call yourself a gamer.
Hey, I can just buy it when it comes out in like another month for its fucking 10th year in a row. Because they're doing like the Skyrim 10th anniversary edition coming out soon. So,
Milk it.
so
Ah.
yeah, I got.
All right. Well, any more to say about Call of Duty, or should we move on to?
I think we should move on. I mean, Call of Duty is one of those games everyone knows about already. It's just, I wanted to talk about it because not only is it like a game I've been playing this summer, it's like, it's my first like real shooter I've been playing too. So.
And you stream it quite a bit too.
I do. I used to, at least. I haven't played it too much.
I feel like I just saw you streaming it.
That was before I played Splitgate with you.
Oh yeah, you were doing that.
And now I play Splitgate a lot.
You're doing that after we did Jackbox. When we played Jackbox together.
Call of Duty or Splitgate?
We played Jackbox on your stream, and then we had to go, and then
Oh, I might have switched to Call of
kept
Duty.
your stream on, and then I come back and I'm like, oh, it's playing Call of Duty.
I don't remember the last time I played Call of Duty, to be honest. But that might have been it then. Yeah.
Well, one problem I've heard about Call of Duty is its reward system is kind of unhealthy to your brain.
What do you mean?
They make it so everybody can do well enough to get the dopamine from that game.
Oh.
Most of the Call of Duty games, I'd say. So there's not, it doesn't have that hard work and then reward system as much as go in and
Shoot
get a reward. Which, I mean, obviously that's appealing and I get it. Like, I totally dig that. Like, sometimes you just want to log in and feel good. But this whole essay that I was watching on YouTube just goes into how, like, that is kind of a problem with, like, the millennial generation.
I mean, I guess I could see how that's fair. Like, I was about, like... It's weird, though, because, like, you also would think with a game that has, like, a community that's that toxic, they'd be less toxic when they're being rewarded often. But maybe that's the opposite effect.
I feel like gamers need to realize and moderate themselves on just dopamine dump games, because it can be a problem. Like when you get used to just being good,
Yeah, you're not...
there's no learning.
Yeah, you're not gonna be good at everything all the time. That's kind of one of those things. And, like, I don't know. And maybe that's why I think the Tomahawk's more rewarding for things, too, though. Because, like, I've done some interesting things with the Tomahawk that I, like, planned on purpose. Because, like, you can bounce it off walls and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, I've, like, bounced Tomahawks off the ground. The thing I don't like about the Tomahawk is it's like an instant kill all the time.
Uh-huh.
So if you hit someone in like the hand or the leg, it still kills them.
Well, I guess the idea is it's supposed to be hard, but for you, it's natural.
I've got a lot of practice with it lately. And...
physics-based brain, I guess.
Well, it's one of those things where it took me a lot of practice. That's kind of it. Like my tomahawk kill streak, or like usage to like kills I've gotten with it, is like fucked entirely because I've got so many misses with it.
Uh,
But it just was one of those things, like I knew how it worked after like so many misses, where I kind of like understand how I can do certain tricks with it.
it's like skee ball, you know.
Oh yeah, like you know how to the right speed to throw the ball, and then the right angle you're gonna hit the target every time.
Big brain stuff.
Yeah, big brain. All right, yeah, that's it for Call of Duty for me though, for sure.
Well, I guess we could move into. I'm thinking on my list, we'll move into movie battles first.
Ooh, movie
Because
battles.
the shit talk in in Call of Duty.
Oh, is it bad in movie battles?
Yes. So, for listeners, there's a game that I play called Star Wars Movie Battles 2. And I say it's a game, but it's actually a mod for the game Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, which came out
Years ago. That's an old game.
2003.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's almost
back when LucasArts was its own thing and not a Disney situation.
for us cool young kids, what's LucasArts?
It's Star Wars.
What? No, that's Disney.
It's the whole company basically. Indie, honestly. Independent company that is responsible for Star Wars. And I think Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And was sold in 2013, I believe. As part of
Sounds right.
the George Lucas Disney
Kiss and practice.
situation. Let me look up when they bought that because I want to be
Sure, on
honest
that
about
day. I mean, it sounds right. Like I wouldn't argue.
October 30th, 2012 for
Ooh.
$4.05 billion.
Damn. Wow, what a sale.
But yeah, like I thought it was cool because George had to move on and take care of his family or whatever, but he sold it to Disney so that his workers at LucasArts still had a job. And I never thought about that, and it kind of warms my heart.
Yeah, that's nice that he cared about but I mean, also look at George Lucas. Like, I'll probably like throw a photo of him up on this video or whatever, you know. But he's just a simple man, like who liked sci-fi and became a bajillionaire because of it.
Well, he's a psych guy, you know? He's like a psych major.
Man,
So he's not that simple.
well, I mean, but you know what I meant, like simple as
Yeah.
in like
Yeah,
just
he's a good boy.
he dresses like a dad, and I like it.
He's a dad. Daddy George.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's funny because like you look at George Lucas and he has like this very iconic dad look, and then you look at what's his name, the guy who does Dave, or the guy who does the Clone Wars, what's his name?
Oh,
I don't know why I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Um,
and of course, Mandalorian.
Oh,
too.
and yeah, Mandalorian, Bad Batch, Rebels, Dave Filoni. I was about to Google it. I was like, it's Dave, and then I remembered Dave Filoni. Damn. Yeah, Dave Filoni. Cowboy hat wearing dude, but they both have like iconic looks that like you'll recognize them in, that they wear all the time. And I just think it's funny that they are like that.
Well, yeah, you can kind of tell that they've got a good amount of nerd in them,
Yeah.
just by their aesthetic.
But I also like that George Lucas taught Dave Filoni like how to basically managed Star Wars when he left.
Mhm.
And
Well, dude, he already knew they worked together on Clone Wars.
but yeah, I was just saying he kind of taught him all the necessary steps.
Yeah, he's the prodigal boy.
And I don't understand why he doesn't run the movies because of that, but I guess.
Well, we could get into that.
Yeah, a different time. But
That'll take up an hour.
yeah.
No, that'll take a couple hours. Like,
Yeah.
it's big, dude. It's
Check-
religion.
For Star Wars stuff, check out Inferno Pod. My friends make that podcast. I'll throw a link in the description for you guys to find it.
Yes, please. I love me some Star Wars talk.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. Yes, Movie Battles 2. Mod
Yeah.
for Jedi Academy, which was a sequel spin-off to the Jedi Knight series following the titular Kyle Katarn, which is non-canon now, by the way, if you're worried about that. But who cares? Kyle Katarn's basically Kanan Jarrus.
Oh.
Kanan Jarrus is basically like he was like I think Kyle was like a force sensitive ex-stormtrooper, I think. There's some books about him too, but anyway,
That's not Kanan Jarrus at all.
some clowns made a mod for Jedi Academy, and it's called Movie Battles 2. And I highly recommend it to you Star Wars gamers out there because it's got the best lightsaber combat in any video game that I ever played. It's very sweaty. It is really hard to master, but I think easy to learn, hard to master. And then, of course, there's game modes people put in there. And you can play as clone troopers, Mandalorians, Sith Jedi, hero characters. There's some good classes in there. And then you get onto a server, and if you get onto the right one, you'll know it's the right one because everyone is saying bad words in the chat. And you have a real good time just, gamer talking with some gamers.
Bad words? Oh,
Bad words, just malcontent, just hate, just pure hate. And don't even mention the sequels on these servers, guys.
the good ones?
You know what? No, do, because that's the fun of it. My favorite part about shooters, online shooters, is the crap people say is so funny. Obviously, there's some bad stuff people say, and it shouldn't be funny. And it's not. I mean, it's not funny at all. I don't think that is funny. I don't condone it.
I
But
always
sometimes just going 111% on the shit talk is a really special moment in a video game. But you got to learn to be able to take it.
yeah.
But of course, there's servers where like they'll mute you if you say a bad word. There's good boy servers, and that's fun too.
Yeah.
But I like to just go on
And bully some
Meme
Star Wars
around.
nerds.
It's so memeable, dude. You can like toggle like voice lines from the movies. Like,
Oh,
you get
that's
Anakin,
awesome.
And you go, I am the most powerful Jedi ever. You just spam it, and you run around, and you teabag, and
I just imagine
Shit talk.
someone like teabagging and going, I am the most powerful Jedi.
Exactly. It's just fun to just I
That's
think
awesome.
they have like lightsaber duel competitions and stuff, unofficial stuff, because I mean it's just a mod, it's nothing official.
Yeah.
No cash, I'm not sure, but so there is a competitive scene and a learning curve, but definitely the appeal for me is just the pure lunacy of it all. It's just refreshing sometimes.
Yeah. I think
That's what I have to say about that game.
That's awesome. I really kind of want to check it out now. That sounds a lot more fun because you were just kind of giving me a quick description before we started recording a while ago. But
I could stream it on Discord for you sometime.
oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'd love to check that out.
Um, I guess we could just move straight into one of my others, which is a Star Wars game. After that,
Oh, okay.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 by EA
Oh,
Games.
by
You know,
oh, didn't Dice work
uh,
on that game too? Yeah, Dice. I think is owned by EA actually. Huh?
yeah.
Okay.
Dice is responsible. EA is responsible for fricking them up, but
What?
otherwise, Dice is responsible for making it a good game, and I really appreciate that. It's one of those games that had a bad launch and got way better.
And
I love
yeah, I do too.
So you've played Battlefront 2?
I have played Battlefront 2, and I got it at launch. I was a little disappointed again at first with it, because all the heroes were super hard to get, and that was kind of like the whole reason I wanted it, was like the cool heroes. Like I don't want to be a clone trooper. I want to be Luke fucking Skywalker. I want to be, all these other cool characters. But I in my opinion, EA turned it around with all the free DLC updates, all that fun stuff. The story was incredible too. Like the story mode, that's great.
Well, I'd give the credit to Dice,
On the
obviously.
story, oh yeah. I mean, like, like,
The
but
story was cool. I mean, it was fine.
I give the
It's like Call of Duty. Like, it's not meant for single player. The appeal is the multiplayer, so they maybe shoehorn in a single player
Yeah.
just for fun.
I do
And
give
I think that's all it needs.
I do give the credit to Dice for the game, like the gameplay and everything. But the DLC being free, you have to give that credit to EA.
Oh yeah.
They turned that around well, like, because they're the ones that running all the financial stuff.
Well, basically, like, it launched and was bad for like what, a year or two, and then EA's like, okay, it's a failure. Do whatever you want.
And then
They did whatever they want
Mhm.
because they're game developers and they developed a game.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens when you let an artist be an artist.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we talked about that. We watched the Suicide Squad last night.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Exactly.
DC told James Gunn, do whatever you want, and that's
Or Warner Bros, right?
or yeah, Warner Bros. Well, DC, Warner Bros, same thing. DC Comics.
No, I don't actually know, but
Oh,
I find it is important when there's blame to be blamed to put it on the right people.
right people. Well, I meant like DC also gets a say in like what the movies do too. They have to approve things,
Mhm.
So
Right.
I was, DC and Warner Bros. Both said like they gave him free reign to do what he wanted, and he made one of the best DC movies. Well, one of the best DCEU movies of all time. I was gonna say that, but I also was like, oh, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, like those are all really good. um, but yeah, he made one of like my favorite DC movies, though, for sure. And I'm a DC fan myself. Like I like Marvel movies, but I'm a bigger DC fan. When it comes to like comics and or animated movies and TV shows, DC's like the way to go for me. So I just huge fan of James Gunn for how he handled the DC movie, all that.
I was very impressed. I thought that was a fun time.
It was. It really was. It was shocking, and and it actually also makes me really excited for the Suicide Squad video game coming out. I think I showed you that trailer the other day. By the guy Rocksteady. Yeah, good movie though. Good old movie.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really all I got to say about Battlefront 2. Is they made a good game out of it.
Yeah, and then like we were talking about the DLC and stuff they added, like God, all the Clone Wars DLC was so cool.
Definitely, that's what everyone wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Obi-Wan skin, like the Clone Wars Obi-Wan skin, and
right.
Yeah, and then the destroyers they added. Fantastic.
Yeah, wow, they were really picking it up, and then all their workforce were told to go work on Battlefield 5.
The new one
There's
coming
the
out, I
newest
would
one
think.
coming
So
out.
that's Battlefield 2047.
So that kind of
Yeah.
killed that poor little Star Wars Battlefront 2.
But you know what?
Dude, they were gonna have like Ahsoka and Ventress. Like I was waiting for that.
Oh gosh, Ahsoka's my waifu in Star Wars.
Yikes.
Cringe, but
Ring.
but I'm talking about like Rebels because I'm not a pedophile. God. Okay, I mean, the next game we're going to talk about is another waifu game. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade.
I think you say Minecraft.
Dude, that Steve's so hot though.
Oh, Steve, I'm stuck.
but Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade was a game that came out this year, and it came with a special DLC called Episode Yuffie. Yuffie is, well, obviously the main character of this DLC. It takes place during the same time as like Final Fantasy VII Remake. But like from a different perspective of most things. Yuffie is this she's, oh gosh, I forgot what her clan was. She's a ninja though. And she's also like a materia hunter, which materia are like these orbs that you equip them and you can use like certain magic or abilities or whatever that materia allows you to do. So anyway, she's basically trying to find this group called Avalanche, which is an eco, I want to say terrorists because they kind of are still, but like you agree with them.
Dropping the eco-terrorist term.
Well, they are. They literally blow up shit to stop things.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you think of, but they basically there's this these reactors called Mako reactors. Mako is what they use to power everything, but they have to extract it from the planet. They have to extract it from the planet. So, like, obviously, it's killing the planet. It's doing all this stuff, and Avalanche wants to stop it, so they hire Cloud, who's a mercenary, an ex-soldier who used to work for the government, to protect them. It's a good game. Episode Yuffie, though, did an incredible job at, like, fitting in really well. They added these mini-games. Yuffie was a very satisfying character to play as.
So, 7 is that newer one where they're all driving in a car.
No, that's 15.
That's 15.
That's 15.
So 7 is an older one?
7 is a PS1 game that got 7 Remake, however, got remade.
Oh, that's the intro to Cloud, isn't it?
Cloud's only in 7. Cuz every Final Fantasy game, like Final Fantasy 1, is its own story on a different planet basically. Final Fantasy
planet. Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was all the same planet.
It's its own story. So like 7 is its own thing, but like anything like Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, it's still connected to Final Fantasy 7. But when you change the number, it's its own thing, is basically how that works.
That came out in 97.
97, the year I was born.
Yeah, so that's the one where Cloud's all... He looks like a balloon man.
Yeah, yeah. And the backgrounds were just painted on that you walked around.
That one's, like, That's like a legendary one.
That is
Everyone likes that one.
that's like everyone's favorite story. And then Final Fantasy VII, they decided to remake it, take away the turn-based for real-time combat. And they're also they've added more to it, and they're breaking this game up into like 3 or 4 parts.
And when did this come out?
This came out 2 years ago, I think. 2 or 3 now.
Because I swear I played a game where you were Cloud running around in like the train zone, the big train.
7?
I swear I played it on the PlayStation Personal.
So you might have been playing a PlayStation Portable? PSP. So that you were probably playing Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core?
Crisis Core. Okay.
So it's still Final Fantasy VII. It's just like I think that's a prequel to Final Fantasy VII.
It is turn-based. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I haven't played that one myself. But
that's not even Cloud. That's a black-haired guy.
That's Zack.
Zack, what a name!
Cool. He is. He fought alongside
Cody.
yeah, Cody or Cloud, same thing. It was a sweet life.
Final Fantasy sweet life.
Oh man, and then but yeah, so like
the big Danimal stick.
Yeah, who won the Danimal sweepstakes? Is it still up for winning? Is it still up for grabs? Like, what's up? But yeah, the game is fantastic. They're breaking this one PS1 game though into 4 parts, and a lot of people are split on that because obviously like a PS1 game should be able to fit on a PS4 and 5 disc. But however, the PS1 version I think was like 4 disc anyway. And also they wanted to add more, but they had to cut a lot of stuff because it wouldn't fit on 4 discs. So I think their plan is to remake it the way they wanted to have it out the first time, from the ground up. Yeah.
Like George Lucas remaking Star Wars over and over.
Yeah, and sometimes Han shoots first, sometimes he shoots second, sometimes his head does this. And like, or does this weird whatever Twitch thing. And
let's not forget about McClunky.
McClunky. Oh yeah, he says that now, right? He added yeah.
Yeah, it's very important.
and then you
like
add that
poetry, it rhymes.
You add that singer, the CGI singer in Return of the Jedi.
I'm fine with all the changes. I dig it. They're good. A lot of them are good changes, but I cannot get over that scene.
I can't get over that singer either.
So cringy.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, but yeah.
Anyway, Final Fantasy, please.
Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, incredible. I think episode Yuffie's like a 20-hour DLC, which is very good considering like I think you only have to pay $10 or $20 for the upgrade. The upgrade to PS4 to PS5 was free, but the DLC was like $20 if you were upgrading. Great game, fantastic. Yuffie was a character I didn't really know much about because like I've only really played Final Fantasy VII Remake. So she becoming one of my favorite characters really quick was awesome. And yeah, that's kind of, like without spoiling much of that game, I highly recommend this game too. Very fun. It's not one of my favorites this year because it was just a DLC and the game came out like a couple years ago. But
so
yeah,
Yuffie isn't an original.
She is
part of the original game though. Playing as her?
She well, normally you play as like everyone because you control the whole party. Right. But like, so this is like takes place before, is what I'm assuming at least. It takes place before the group that you play as finds her. and adds her to the party. Okay, so in Final Fantasy VII Remake, you go through like a set period of time, and they haven't met Yuffie at all, right?
Okay.
So, and then in this DLC, you play through that same set period of time, just in different areas. So it's just like what she was doing during that period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like as a remake, you can say something right now to spoil it for people who have played the original
No.
Final Fantasy.
No.
No?
Because certain events didn't happen in this remake that should have happened. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII, play that remake, play that game. Episode Yuffie, very fun. She is awesome. She has a Moogle hat that I like a lot, that I want in real life. When you first meet her. It's great. Like, she's probably one of the funniest characters that I've met in Final Fantasy VII, too. So it's just...
Do they voice act in this one?
Yep, all voice acted,
Wow.
yeah.
So Final Fantasy VII, what do you know?
Yeah, Final
It's a
Fantasy...
video game.
It is, and it's a good one, and it's 7 Remake is what I'm talking about, though, girlfriend.
Well, I think now is a perfect time to read for our sponsor, Splitgate, who is not a sponsor of anything
I thought you had
associated with us, but we do like Splitgate.
We do like Splitgate.
I love a lot of it.
Brendan's kind of bad at it, but I'm kind of showing him the ropes.
Okay, I got a 16-player kill streak just the other night, my boy.
Yeah, because I stood still for 16 deaths. Just kidding. He did really well last night. It was pretty awesome.
It's on and off.
It's...
But yeah, that game is a blast.
A blast? Yeah.
It feels just like Halo Couch Co-op, playing on Discord with you.
Yeah, and then
making crazy game modes.
And then, well, I mean, like, if you like Portal and you like first-person shooters, you're going to like Splitgate.
Yeah, I guess we should describe it. Splitgate is a little video game.
That's true. I've heard it's a video game.
By 1047 game.
Yeah.
And
I think
it came out like what, 2 years ago?
I don't know. I just got into it when Season 0 started.
Yeah, it came out 2019 to unimpressive review. Acclaim, I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't very popular when it came out. It's one of those redemption arc story games that we've been talking so much about.
I don't know if it's a redemption arc, because like when it came out in 2019, it was still beta. You know, and Season 0, which was like when I started, would have been technically the first release of it, like official.
Yeah, it just came out with Season 0, which
is where I would consider like a game to be judged. Like a beta is like you can change anything from a beta.
Yeah, that's fair. So it was in beta since 2019.
Yes.
But nobody was really talking about it until recently. I saw a YouTube video, some clown talking about Splitgate. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Oh, it's free.
Oh, yeah. Free is always good.
Oh my god, dude. It's literally Halo with portals and no vehicles. But you run around and do portals like you do in Portal 2. And you shoot the enemies with your weapon of choice. And there's plenty of game modes. They got Oddball. They got Capture the Flag. They got Shoddy Snipers. They got gun game. They got big head snipers.
My favorite, honestly, I think is big head snipers too.
He loves the big heads.
I love the big heads, and I got this like little minor character named Hands on Jack. So
Get your hands off.
yeah, he's a little creepy, but he's even creepier with his big head, and then my emote just makes him go like, yeah, and like, yeah. It's great, and I like it.
But yeah, that's been a lot of fun lately.
Yeah.
And there's a competitive scene, and there's a beautiful casual scene, good progression. I am a little not too impressed by the first battle pass.
Yeah.
Most of the gun skins are kind of weak, honestly.
Except that first gun skin.
Except the first gun skin. That's like the one gun skin.
I want it. Yeah.
It makes your assault rifle into a cardboard assault rifle.
Yeah.
So it's an actual new model and redesign. Whereas the other ones are just skins, no new models, but it's just skins,
yeah. But see
cool
that
colors or whatever. But it's just unimpressive for the $10 price tag.
Yeah, and the thing is about that, like, I understand it's a season 0, first of all, so this is like a preseason, really, and second
Right.
of all, they're also a new company. Like, I know all these guys have experience, but like, they're still new. They're still finding their footing in this, and
Crazy world.
yeah, in this crazy world, but finding that footing is just what they need to do, and they'll get there soon. They really
Yeah, it might be kind of a rush season too, because like it just got like a huge player count in August
will.
of this year, 2021, and
They're
they had to deal with that. Like, oh shit, we probably gotta release a season now.
yeah,
We got a lot of players to please.
yeah, we got a lot of
And-
pleasing to do.
With some good stuff. Right? There's like a cool orc-looking Deathclaw guy that you can get in the battle pass, and of course, you get your currency, whatever, split coins that you pay for real money. You buy 1,000 of those, and you can get the battle pass. And you get the battle pass, and you get those 1,000 back through going through the battle pass. So you could buy the next one for free, basically.
Yeah,
Which is always a good thing. Or you could waste it all on cool skins in the item shop. So that's totally fair.
yeah, I think no, like for a game, like I said, I just getting kind of more into the first person shooters lately anyway. And we were talking about physics based games. I think that's why it resonates well with both of us. Just the portal physics of it all. Like I feel
you can. My favorite part is how you can do a portal below you and then one on a wall, right? And you jump down into the portal below you, and then you have enough momentum to launch out the one on the wall.
yeah.
And then you do a melee with that momentum, you'll do double damage.
I haven't tried that. I didn't know you could do that. That's interesting.
Melees generally only do 50 damage out of 100 that the players have.
But if you
So
have
it takes
speed,
2 days to kill someone.
that's cool.
But yeah, if you're launching, you have the momentum, and it does more damage. And I thought that was so
I've
cool.
never tried that. I'll have to try that. Wow.
Or even if you're just falling, that's still momentum.
Yeah. That's cool. Like, I just like shooting a portal and shooting through the portals. Like, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, you can do a sniper tower, right? And then with your portal, you put a portal up high and you put a portal down low, and you're shooting through the low one, and it's coming out the high one. And then you can also see yourself through that portal, and you could cover your own back as you're sniping, as you're camping.
And also,
but of course, they can shoot you through your portal too. So.
Yeah, but they can't see through your portal. Only you can see through your portal. Which is cool. I wish you could see through your other teammates' portals, to be honest. But I that doesn't bother me too much.
Know what you're getting into when you go through.
Yeah, because sometimes your own teammates will set trap portals.
That'd probably take up a lot of processing power or something, though. I think that's why.
I mean,
I don't know.
oh, maybe, yeah, maybe that's why they did it. It's still really a cool process. I don't mind not seeing through the enemy portal. I think that's kind of smart.
Mhm.
But yeah, like it just sucks when you can't see through your team's portals.
Right. That would open up a lot of cool strategic opportunities.
Yeah, it really would. And then
It would be
you
confusing.
could also like,
remember which ones are yours and which ones are your teammates.
well, if we were all in a Discord chat like we are too, though,
Yeah.
you could like shoot through like 4 portals at a time if you plan it out portals, right?
Whoa.
That would be kind of neat, right?
Do like a big pentagram.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
Dude, that's brilliant.
Yeah, but the Splitgate, super fun. It's free, so there's no reason to not try it.
Get it.
Yeah, get it.
Get on your Steam. You don't even need to steal your mom's credit card. You can if you want.
If you want the
Don't
battle
condone
pass.
it, but, yeah, steal her credit card. Go on to Steam. Get the game for free. Bish bash bosh. Bob's your uncle. Mom's the word. Now you're British.
Yeah, it's a good game.
A good game.
It's a good show.
I recommend. So there you go. Splitgate.
Oh, I thought you said I recommend, and I was expecting you to say something else.
I recommend game. Good game.
It's a good game. All right, the last one I got on my list is Back for Blood. The beta, because the game's not out yet, but I played the beta. And for those of you who don't know what Back for Blood is, Back for Blood is a 4-person co-op zombie game where you have like different missions you have to complete. Basically, most of the time it's like get from one safe house to another safe house, and survive the night. And then each level's a little harder. It's essentially the Left 4 Dead series. It's made by the same people who do it. But yeah, it's
the same world too, isn't it?
I don't know if it's the same world, to be honest. I've only played the beta, and I've only played Left 4 Dead with mods. So I'm not the best person to answer that question.
Google is.
Google sometimes is. Sometimes Google's like, I don't care. But
A full-fledged sequel to Left 4 Dead was announced the very next year after Back 4 Blood.
Oh, really? Oh, so it might be, it might not be.
Back 4 Blood had bigger ambitions than being Left 4 Dead 3.
That's cool then. Yeah, I mean, it is cool. One of the missions, because I'll just talk about the missions, because it was a beta. I don't think they'll keep it the same. It was very creative. So there's like this mine you have to go through, like a mining mountain, and these zombies will just constantly come out of the mines. But to stop them, you have to blow up the mine shaft that they're coming out of, and like crumble the rocks. Which was like a really cool mission, because like normally there were like barrels by the mine shaft you shoot. But if you're like paying attention, like me and I was playing with Ichiro on Twitch. I'll also throw his stuff in there, or in the description below too. We noticed that there were like propane tanks and stuff, and like gasoline bottles and stuff. And not every mine shaft, when you come across it, has explosives near it. So you have to actually place the explosives near it sometimes.
Okay.
Before, like to actually like stop the, do that mission. So it was a challenge.
I always liked stuff like that, especially in games where like, because you always see it in like your Saturday morning cartoon or whatever, where instead of shooting the bad guys, they shoot the rock above them. And the rock kills them or whatever.
Yeah,
And I always try and do that in Dungeons and Dragons, rather than actually use the combat system because I find it boring.
yeah. No, that's fair. It is always fun to be a little creative too, like where you can stop something almost without fighting, really.
You
Uh,
gotta keep that sandbox, you know.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so there's but there was the last mission of this beta was like we have to take out a really like high bunker. Um, and it was confusing because we figured out everything we had to do like before we even started like the actual mission where zombies were coming, because like you have to blow up like a huge mine shaft and you have to hit it a lot. So they have like this, it's almost like a cannon, but it shot like little missiles. And basically we grabbed all the missiles and put them right next to the cannon.
Oh.
And shot the mine, you know, we'd shoot the mine shaft. And then zombies were supposed to start running out. But we had all the missiles right there. So you had to shoot it like 5 times, basically. We had all the missiles right there, so we did it really fast. And then you drive out in this tank, or this Hummer, like, with a turret on it, and that's it. That's the mission. So
okay.
I think we weren't supposed to figure that part out before we started.
That's the problem. They gotta figure out the whole replayability.
Yeah, and I think they'll change that. But yeah, it was kind of sucky for like the last mission to be that way. We were lucky to figure it out, but like if you didn't figure it out, it probably would have been very clever. You know, like it would have been like a very hard mission. But
well, they need to make it so the zombies just start immediately, and you gotta act under pressure, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I think they wanted you to figure out what you're doing. You know, like it was a puzzle mission almost more than a zombie mission. But we figured out, like, everyone's like, oh, there's a missile here, we'll shoot it there. And I was like, there's a missile right here too. And then like our other teammates are like, well, there's a missile here. And we're like, there's multiple missiles. So we were just smart enough to gather them all before we started. You know.
I wonder if they could be set off without being loaded.
The missiles?
Yeah, you could use them as like a fire barrel situation.
Oh,
if you shoot them.
I would hope not, because there were only 5, and you needed 5. That would be a shit mission if they just keep coming. But yeah,
well,
the Back 4 Blood beta.
Lose.
Yeah, that's true. The Back 4 Blood beta, really good, really fun. Game. Yeah, I'm getting it when it comes out. I think it comes out in October. So
I'm definitely pumped for it because like Left 4 Dead, dude, that's like an essential.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those legendary games.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, zombie games are always like really clever too, though, and like fun sometimes. Well, not always, but like Dying Light. I love Dying Light. Like that's one of my favorite zombie games. It's just parkour zombies. But Dying Light 2 comes out in December. I'm like, oh, I think Dying Light might have been my first zombie game too, though. So
you haven't played Left 4 Dead?
No, I played it after though.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have the internet or like a computer when Dying Light came out. So I got Dying Light on my PlayStation 4.
Say once you get to like the highest difficulty for Left 4 Dead, oh,
oof,
that's when it gets real fun.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for Back 4 Blood, the beta.
Well, damn. Well, of course you got in because you are a beta.
That's kind of mean. Kind of makes me cry.
We should just cut it right there.
I do have are you done with yours?
Yeah, I think I went over everything. There's Star Citizen. There's not much to say about it.
Okay.
If you've heard of it, it's this game that was supposed to come out like in 2012, and they had a Kickstarter going on. They raised like way too much money, and they asked their backers like, "Okay, do you want us to use the money, make the game, and give it to you now, or do you want us to change the game completely and try and make the best space simulator ever, and it'll be released later?" And people voted for that, and it's been 9 years,
You're asking for the best space simulator ever, though.
and it's still really clunky, but they do quarterly updates per year, and it is progressing. I don't know when it'll ever be out, but they're going to have like a full universe, a persistent universe at that. So kind of like a big sandbox MMO, basically.
That's
You got your spaceships, and you get to see yourself climb into them and press all the buttons, and some of them have like like toilets and beds and like a stove and stuff, and you can haul cargo. You could be a bounty hunter. You can solve murders. You can
be a space detective.
smuggle. You can bounty hunt other players. And there's all these cool ships that you could fly around in.
That's cool.
And, that's kind of the appeal of it. The graphics are pretty freaking good. I think they had to come up with their own engine. I think they were using Unreal before, but then they're like, okay, to make this the best space sim ever, we're gonna have to make our own engine. So
Fair.
they were working on that.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
I'd recommend it if you're like into sci-fi, like you're really into it, and you watch some YouTube videos about it first, obviously, and say, hey, I really want to play around in some of those cool spaceships. Because that's really all you get out of it right now. And you could fly around to the different planets in this one solar system and check out the stuff. Like they got like full city planets like Coruscant, and then of course they got like barren desert moons, and they just came out with like a Cloud City Bespin type
That's
place.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And there's like a lot of experimenting you could do. Like there was a group of like 20 people that were like, oh, what happens if you fly to the very center of the sun?
Yeah.
So they set it up so like there'd always be someone flying the ship just in case they crashed or something. Because you're gonna get a lot of crashing with this game.
Yeah.
And it is kind of hard to run. It takes a lot of resources. But so they figured that out and did it, and it took like more than a day to just fly their normal speed, because like it's pretty to scale. Like your ships can go hecka fast, but it's pretty to scale. And of course, there's a warp drive, but there's no warp point for the center of the sun, so they had to fly in manually. And you could kill your engines too and not burn fuel, and you'll just use inertia
To float.
to just float at the same speed, and you won't slow down because that's how space works.
Yeah.
And eventually they're even going to have like actual gravity. They came out with
Gravity with Sandra Bullock
in atmosphere flying. Some ships perform better in atmosphere because they have like wings or whatever. And then like the weird looking big ships are a lot harder to pilot in atmosphere, but they're good. Everything's fine in space.
Wait, so what happened when they got to the center of the sun?
They got there.
Did it do anything? Did they like? No, really.
But it was cool. It was for science. It's something the players did.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll. I wonder if they'll change it. Yeah,
they'll make it so maybe like the sun will like suck you in with the gravity whenever they come out with like the proper gravity system.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because it'd be cool to be able to like you can kind of. Yeah, well, I guess they got gravity pretty good right now. Most of the planets and moons have gravity, and if you fly close enough, you'll get pulled into the gravity. And if you go at the right speed, you can actually kind of get in orbit. But
Oh, that's cool.
you got to be pretty close to the planet to
I-
feel the gravity.
I
Which
was-
is the thing.
I was about to say it'd be like really cool if they you could like slingshot around a planet using its gravity or something.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
So definitely they're probably going to do that. Like if there's any concern you have about it, anything you want the game to do, I guarantee you they're going to do it eventually.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
and it feels like all the aesthetics and stuff, it feels like a perfect mix for all the sci-fis. You got your Halo stuff, you got your Mass Effect looking stuff, and then you've got the Firefly feel, you've got the Star Wars feeling. Probably not so much with like the wizards and stuff, but
Of Waverly Place?
I think they're doing a good job to kind of be interesting to all types of sci-fi nerds.
Yeah, and I think that's the way you'll have to handle a sci-fi game. You have to cater to everyone, especially if you're claiming to be the best one.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I can't wait to see how far they progress in 10 years.
Yeah.
Another 10 years.
It's kind of the game that's never gonna come out.
That's what they asked for though. So like you know,
GG.
that's what yeah.
Well, I'm just waiting for it to be stable enough so that I could play it without crashing.
Yeah. But you know, that's such a massive game.
Mhm.
It's going to be harder.
And it's got VR support.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
VR is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
So does No Man's Sky too. Now it has VR support on the PlayStation.
That's one of those redemption games.
No Man's Sky, yeah, it's almost in the same boat where your game is.
Redemption games is just a perfect topic for a later podcast.
Yeah, that would also be a good one. Alrighty, well, that's all I had to talk about. That's all you had to talk about, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's my list.
Alrighty.
There were other games I played, but not much to talk about there.
No, I mean, yeah, like we just picked ones we thought we could talk about more. Of course, we played more than 5 games this summer.
Yeah, we're not fucking losers.
Yeah. What, you think I went outside and touched grass? No. Played
I
video
haven't
games.
even seen a woman in over 2 years.
I put a VR helmet on and I touched grass there. Okay. Anyway, just I wanted to always have like a little bit of a news segment on these podcasts too. So just a quick rundown of the weekly, obviously. Now, normally would be the time where we do our news segment, but since we are just trying to find our footing right now, I'm going to skip the news segment this week and add it next week. I'm still trying to figure it out where it should go and how I should do it. So, no news segment this week, but guys, thank you for listening to the first episode of the Weekly Rundown. I do very much appreciate it. And we hopefully will see you next week. Please hit that follow, subscribe, whatever it is for podcast. And we'll see you next time. Bye.